Welcome to the Red Pill Awareness Needed Conversation from Men Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Herb, and I'm here with my brother and the other host,
Jason D.
What's going on, people? We are back with another show. What's going on? So we're being a little bit more consistent. It ain't been like it's not like it's gonna be a month this time.
Just weeks.
Yeah, this weeks. We get it together. I told y'all we're gonna get it together when we can. So, with that being said, we're gonna get right to it. We are doing a reactionary video to a YouTube content creator that I actually follow and am a big fan of. Brother out of London by the name of Kingrichez. We did a video of his a while ago. And I made it a point to come back to it because he does a call-in show. Sort of similar to Kevin Samuels. It's not as set up and hostile, you know what I mean? But he does a very similar show. And this particular clip, it's about an 8-minute clip. And it's about a woman that called in, a black woman, and argues that black women tend to lower their standards for black men. And the reason why I wanted us to go over this is because in this space here, this is stuff that we deal with all the time. You know what I mean? It's just that some men are more aware of it than others. And you got to be aware of how a lot of black women see us today. Not all, but a lot. You know, especially the ones that are educated, the ones that's making good money, the ones that got their degrees and things like that. So, like, we want you to hear it from the horse's mouth. Because sometimes if it comes from us...
You don't believe us?
Nah.
Or we're just pandering?
Yeah,
or
nah.
You're just saying that, like, okay. But when it comes from the source...
Right.
You can't dispute it. So.
Right. So, yeah, in this particular clip, like I said, this young lady called in and wanted to make this argument with Kingrichez, and, you know, he kind of pushed back on it. So, by the way, Jay has not seen it. I've probably watched the first a minute of it, and then just was like, I'm gonna wait for Jay to check it out with me. So, this is where we at. So, we both gonna react at the same time. So, without further ado, we're gonna start this video.
That's what most women do, particularly black women. You want to be honest when it comes to black men. We lower our standards instead. That's what has been.
You lower your standards.
Average to average.
Okay, all right. Give me an example.
You want to be honest.
Oh, okay. Give me some a typical list of standards that black women lower themselves when it comes to black men.
Let's stop acting like black men don't be trying to get black women to lower our standards for them.
That's
something that only black women can relate to.
Bruh, we're not gonna do that, bruh. I asked you a question.
All right, so let's just start right there for a minute. Brothers, and a few ladies that watch this, the first sign already that this is gonna go left is the fact that when a woman makes a statement and you ask her, give me an example, give me some kind of material, give me something that leads you to this direction. And the first response is, don't act like that. No, this is already not going to go well at all.
It's not a conversation.
Right, it's not right. That's all about emotion and stuff. That's your first clue that this conversation is not going to be a productive conversation. You just need to just go left. For real, just like, She already starting off bad. Already. Like, this is not going to end well at all. You know what I mean? Nothing she's going to say is going to make any sense.
And if you call the show, you know he's going to ask you to back up your point.
Mm-hmm.
That's not him being aggressive or trying to roast you. That's him simply asking you to, okay, you made this point. Give me reasons or facts to support your point. Like adults do. My
favorite line, I always say, when I hear stuff like this, my favorite line is, based on what? Based on what exactly? That means you have to give me some kind of baseline of where you're coming from with your opinion.
Exactly.
So I love saying that because more often than not, that woman's going to be looking like, what do you mean? No, what do you mean what I mean? You just this is your opinion. This is how you feel. Again, the word feel. What is this feeling based off of? And more often than not, you're going to get some kind of answer that is not based on any kind of facts whatsoever. So, but we're going to continue.
Your question. Answer the question. What are the standards that black women they just let go when they're dating black men?
With black women, we are expected to lower our standards for black men, especially in terms of money. Like we all know the black men that are bums, that don't have a job, that don't like to work, and still want black women to support them and to be there for them.
The majority of black women are overweight and out of shape. So like this is what I'm saying.
And majority of black men have been in jail. So, we know in that game. I mean,
what you say?
Go ahead, bro.
So this is a reoccurring thing that happens to me when I'm on Facebook talking to some.
We just talked about this in the car today.
Talking to some of our women that have these clouded images of us as a people. Most black men have not been in jail. Most black men do not want you to lower your standards when it comes to money. Most of the black men I know, we've dated lawyers, I've dated a professor before. I didn't expect her to not be a professor because we were dating. My thing is, if you make more than me, I'm fine with that until you throw it in my face, until you measure my worth as a human being. What you've made and what you have achieved is great. And once again, we're not taking away from that. Your achievements, your job, that's what's up. But this does not make you a superior person on this planet. It just means you make more money to buy more shit. That's all it means. And no, I will not excuse my language. That's how I talk. You can't equate a person's worth by how much money they make. Because I know people that don't make a lot of money that are great human beings, and I know people that make a lot of money that are horrible human beings. Most of them are in the White House. So if that's how you rate a person, I'm already good. Good. Yeah. If all you're coming, and I had this is a reoccurring argument on this show and in person. If all you're coming with is money as a sense of a person's wealth, I'm good. I'm not here to convince you and sing you some kumbaya song to make you not think that way. I'm just good. I don't want to fuck with you on any capacity at all.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that she's making these very general statements already shows you the lack of the respect she has for black men in general.
There it is.
You know what I mean? The fact that she's saying, black men be trying to be bums out here, and black men just, want you to lower your standards for money and this and third. Like, come on, sis. Like, maybe it's the ones you're choosing. That's one of the things I say all the time. If you're experiencing this pattern all the time, maybe it's the ones you're choosing. Mm-hmm. But for you to generalize and say, all black men are bums, all black men in jail. But now, what Kingrichez said is an actual fact, which is the fact that the majority of black women are overweight. That's a statistical fact. It is. Like, you can research that and find the percentage of black women that are overweight compared to other races and other cultures. We lead that stat. It's you can't argue that. So yeah, it might have seemed like he threw that out there, but when you look at the obesity rate, unfortunately, us as a black people, we lead that. And then also when it comes to the women, they lead that. It is what it is. So it's just her lack. She automatically is telling you how she has very little respect for black men. So we're going to continue.
Of black men have been to jail. That's not true.
One out of 8 in America. I don't know how it is in the UK.
That's still not the majority. But that's not the majority.
Doesn't matter. That's still the point. In the majority speaking,
it's not a
majority
it's not
on average
point.
more educated.
It's not a
majority
point.
more average on more educated than black men.
Stop talking over me, bruh. This is my show. Stop talking over me, bruh. You said 1 in 8 has been to jail. That's still not the majority. You're saying it's a point.
It was a split. I didn't.
But what, bruh? Stop talking, bruh. Like, stop talking over me. Seriously, innit? Like, yeah. We're talking about the requirements, right? Mm-hmm. You're saying that a lot of black women, are expected not to be with guys that don't have money and providers, etc., etc.
We're expected to lower our standards.
Who's telling you that you're meant to be with a broke black man? Who's telling you that?
Black men. Hello.
Where? Who?
Black men. What?
Where? What black men are saying this?
Black men that I know and that other black women know. I mean, like, you don't have to.
All I can do is laugh at the level of stupidity this woman is saying right now.
Because he's asking direct questions.
Right.
Herb, can you name 3 of our friends that are fathers right now? Name them.
I mean, let me name them.
Just name them. Just name real quick.
DeJuan, Ethan, James.
Simple question, right? Yeah. Simple answer. So my point is, if you're saying that there's a point of reference of black men that you know. He's asking you specifically who? Black men. Who? Black men. Who? Black men with arms, legs, and heads. Which black men? You're digging yourself in a hole to try to validate your BS. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. And when you talk to people and you say, okay, you're making this statement repeatedly, give me an example. A specific example. Can you cite something? Can you let me know something? Can you give me something from your own personal experience? Right. She couldn't name one person. And you're calling a show that is seen globally. Do you know how stupid you look?
Right.
We're Americans. We're not British, and we're watching this show.
She's an American calling the show. It's fucking odd. All I can do is laugh. We gonna continue.
I want to know. I mean, like, you don't have to necessarily be in proximity to that, but I mean, it's a common experience for most black women because, okay, we have access to social media and black women are sharing these experiences and we all can't just be wrong.
Now, I paused it right here because she said something that is very, very problematic. We all can't be wrong. Now, first of all, it goes back to something that we preach all the time. Lack of accountability. Number 1. Because for her to make that statement lets me know right now that she is so caught up into finding validation for how she feels that the idea or the possibility that maybe the problem is her is completely above her head. That's first and foremost. And then the second thing that we discuss on the show that we try not to be is an echo chamber, which is the fact that you're only surrounding yourself with people that are saying the same things you're saying. Me and Jay don't always agree. We have homies that do not agree with this show or fucks with this show. Because they don't agree.
Friends we've had for 30 years.
Do not.
And guess what? We're still friends.
Right.
He and I don't agree on stuff. Gaming, movies, music sometimes. We're still friends.
Right.
Because we can not agree on something and not hate each other. Yeah. I know it's crazy. But bear with me.
Right. It's not as...
Oh my God. It doesn't mean that he's triggered or I'm triggered or trauma. He just doesn't want tacos.
Right. On the surface, it might appear that a lot of red pill content comes off as an echo chamber. Because you have a lot of dudes that are getting to this red pill space and they rage and get mad and be like, fuck women, blah, blah, blah. But no. Below the surface, we will sit there and say, hey, look, bro, you kind of acting out of pocket. You know what I mean? We do that. Mm-hmm. We do that. My siblings do not fuck with this show. Mm-mm. They don't fuck because the way they live their lives is just counterproductive. Our show is counterproductive to what they do. It's just that simple. So at the end of the day, we create the content for people to listen to it and learn from it. But at the same time, we do what we can to make sure this is not an echo chamber. We welcome people to come on the show all the time to disagree or state their argument as far as how they feel. But what tends to happen is a lot of women, they don't welcome that shit. You know, and I'm sorry for ladies if you feel some kind of way about it, but that's just the reality situation. There's been plenty of times when Jay and I have interacted in certain social media posts about certain subjects that these women post, and then we'll present a counter argument, and it's like, why you commenting on my page and blah 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 blah. Like
it's even more ridiculous. Like if you're in like public. Yeah, like the Black Love or the Blackout group, or you're in a entire group of people who are going to have opinions, and then when men comment, you have an issue. Then why are you on a public forum in an open post that's not targeted towards women or men, towards everybody, and now because you don't disagree with me, you're upset because I said something? I haven't been belligerent. I didn't call out your name. I didn't try to humiliate you. I just didn't agree with the point you made.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
What are you doing here? Same as you. Giving my opinion. Because you're trying to uplift women, which is great, but you're doing so by trashing all men, which is not good.
No.
I will never support any woman that feels she the need to uplift women by totally destroying the entire male race. I will not fucking support that shit. You are no different from a fucking Klansman.
Mm-hmm. And,
you're not.
And at the end of the day, what she's talking about, that, yeah, these are the women I hear and talk to on social media, blah, blah. No, sis, you're in the echo chamber. We see it all the time. Jay and I, we see it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So don't be fooled by this shit, bro. Like, fellas, don't be fooled by this shit. So we want to continue.
That you can debate, like, because it's our personal experience. So it's like,
Okay,
if you debate it, then you're
what I'm
basically trying to denounce it and say that it's not true.
Do you think the majority of black men advocate other black men being bums?
No, you don't have to advocate it, but statistically speaking, you know, there's not many top tier black men to choose from in the first place.
Yeah, but do you realize?
Honest.
Yeah, but do you realize you're in America? You realize you're an ethnic minority, right?
Yes, I am proud.
So obviously, if you're an ethnic minority, the pool of really successful black men is going to be small anyway, bruv. So that what? There's no about it, bruv. It is.
It is. But
there's no about it, bruv. It's just the same way that a black guy who is successful could turn around and say, well, there's not that many attractive black women walking around.
Oh, I'm not talking about attractiveness. I'm talking about in terms of education and wealth and power.
No, but you're talking about
other men have, you know.
Yeah, but you're talking about. You said that black women are are lowering their standards, right? And I'm saying black men could say they're lowering their standards as well.
They can't. Well, some black men do, but with black women, on average, you're gonna meet and a black woman that's more educated than the black man on average.
Well, men don't care about women's education, bro.
What education becomes better job opportunities.
Bruh, you lot are delusional, bro. With this education, bruh, stop talking over me. Like, seriously, like, stop doing that, bro.
Better job opportunities.
Take that one. That's you.
We're gonna pause this. We're gonna repeat this as many times as it takes for the few women that watch this to understand this. We don't give a fuck about your education. I'm gonna repeat that. We don't give a fuck about your education. When I'm looking at a potential mate or girlfriend or whatever, potential wife, I don't care if she got 3 or 4 degrees. Most men don't. We don't. I don't know why women don't understand this. We don't. Actually, if you got 3 degrees, we gonna look at it like, damn, she might be a fucking headache. It's really that simple.
And before you inbox us or start tagging us below, trying to say that we are advocating that education doesn't matter or that your degree is bullshit, that's not what we said.
Not at all.
We're saying when we're looking at a potential mate, we really don't care about your degree. We just don't.
I mean, if you have
I've had women who had their master's degrees. I've had women who had their doctor's degrees. I didn't find it out until later on in the conversation because my initial draw to them was the conversation about her, not her job and when she went to undergrad and when she got. I don't care. I'm not hiring you to be my accountant. I'm trying to get you to be my chick.
Right.
We just don't care. You may care where I went to school, where I got my credentials from. That's what's up. We're not the same. You're over there being a woman. I'm over here being a man. I know it's rare nowadays, but that's what's going on right now. Mm-hmm. We don't care. We generally want to know about you.
Because here's the thing. Here's something that a lot of these women got to understand. Just because you have a degree doesn't make you intelligent. You just passed.
Please say that again.
Just because you have a degree doesn't automatically make you intelligent. You just passed.
Because you know what they call a doctor that got C's?
A doctor. And on the flip side of that, just because you don't have any degrees doesn't mean you're not intelligent.
Boom.
you could just decide, you know what, college ain't for me.
Yeah, because I'm quite sure the contractor you have working on your house, who didn't go to college, doesn't have his master's, I'm sure the guy that did your deck is intelligent. Or the young lady that did your pool is intelligent, that runs all the wiring in your house. You know how many fucking wires are in your goddamn house? A lot. I'm sure you want the guy that comes to mess with the gas in your house is intelligent. None of these people probably got degrees, but they're intelligent. Yep. You trust them to be intelligent in their craft, don't you? Or do you just hire any moron behind 7-Eleven? Hey, man, you good with gas? Cool. Here's a hot dog. Right. Come work in my house. So get out this mentality that America pushes that you have to go to college to be intelligent and to be a valuable person in society. There's a lot of jobs that happen to keep this country running that don't require a degree. Some of those jobs are much more secure, trucking, and yield a lot more money than most of the jobs. Because a lot of y'all got these degrees and they ain't even using it in respective field. You're not. I know a dude that's a double engineering major. He ain't no goddamn engineer.
It happens. So we're going to continue.
Better job
Yeah, you lot are delusional, bro. With this bruh, stop talking over me. Like, seriously, like, stop doing that, bro. Like, nah, don't laugh, innit? Because, bro,
okay.
like, we're having a conversation and like I'm fighting to get things out, bro. Like, I shouldn't have to do that. One thing I find that's very delusional is how a lot of women come back with, oh, but I'm educated. Bruv, no one cares, bruv.
But that plays into it.
No, it really doesn't. But do you know why? Because your number one commodity as a woman is your looks. It's not how far you went in you.
He's right. Sorry. He's right. That's the first thing us as men, we pay attention to. That doesn't mean the other things don't come into play, because they do. Because if you look good as shit and I can't hold even a minor conversation with you, it's not going to go well. However,
the initial spark is going to be because if I see you across the room, I am not going to be like, damn, she probably went to Grambling University.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Her sorority letters look nice.
I can't see those because you're not going to be wearing them when you're 35.
No,
unless you're at a reunion.
Some just they so proud of that
shit. On a license plate, yeah.
But I've seen them wear coats. I've seen them wear hats. Bro, listen, some of the women, they're proud of that shit, man. They rep it every day.
We're not diminishing that.
They got little bracelets and shit.
Don't come at us over that. We're just saying we as men, we just don't care. You always say you don't get men, you don't understand how we think. We're telling you as men. I'm sorry, natural born men. You gotta say that nowadays. We don't care. We just don't care. It's awesome that you did that. Congratulations. I know it was hard. That's what's up. We don't care. We generally want to know about you.
Yeah,
that makes me an asshole, I don't care. I'm human. I meet you. How are you? What kind of music do you like? You know what I mean? Do you work out? Are you a foodie? Not, hey, how was that college level math in your third year?
Right,
I don't give a shit.
See, the problem is what women have a hard time understanding is there is a thing called a sexual marketplace and sexual market value. And when you bring this up to women, oh, you just see us as a commodity or item, blah, blah, blah. No, sis. But the reality is that men and women have a market. When we're looking at each other for a potential mate, or even just sex, it's a fucking market. It is. That women are looking at men for a certain value and vice versa. It's a market. And at the end of the day, the main things that women look for in the market is basically, stability, being protected, provider, all those things. Those are the things that women look for. Women look for looks, depending on what they want to do with the man. But the looks are equally as important for women as for men. However, it's not always top on the priority, especially if that woman is looking to get married. But at the end of the day, for us as men, whether y'all like it or not, the first thing we notice as far as y'all sexual market value is how you look. How appealing you are to us. It ain't gotta be you gotta look like a fitness model or you gotta look like some chick that belong in Playboy, what the fuck ever. You know what I mean? Yo, somebody said King Magazine not too long ago.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That just popped in my head. Anyway.
Black Men magazine.
Yo, I missed those damn things.
I digress.
Right.
Can't do that no more.
No.
Well, you can, but you know.
No, but anyway, we dating ourselves, but those that get it, they get it. Don't
45 if you want.
Right.
I don't care.
However, the reality is that us as men, the things that get our attention is how you look. And every man looks for different things. But at the end of the day, that is your number one sexual market value when it comes to us. It doesn't matter if you are a rich dude, poor dude, skinny dude, fat dude. The reality is that's what we look for. Deal with it.
Because we're visual.
Yes.
I see women all day long. Do I approach other women? No. But that doesn't mean I am a fan of beautiful women. I'm a fan of watching beautiful women just move along their day, and half the time I don't say hi, I don't say nothing. I'm in my car, I'm in my rock, just admiring that someone as busy, that looks busy, that's in their day too, manages to look that gorgeous. Mm-hmm. That's me. I'm all like, hey, you know, I'm not that dude. I've just never been that dude, but I'm a visual dude, and that's never going to change. You know what I'm saying? That's what I look for. That's the first thing that captures me. I mean, and believe it or not, it's actually the most non-sexual parts of a woman that triggers me the most. And anyone that knows me knows I'm a huge fan of eyes. Hence the picture behind you. That's just how I am. So if you got pretty eyes, I'm probably not going to be able to say a complete sentence for a few seconds when I meet you. It's just how I am.
The point is that women have to understand, if you know, when it comes to us as men, those are things that are important to us. You can't continue to ignore it or act like it's not important or it's less than, because at the end of the day, if you want to get married, you want to look for a potential mate, or just have a companion, those things fucking matter. You know what I mean? You can't dismiss those things. They matter. That's simple. So we're going to continue. We're almost there.
You went in university. That's the truth. I can guarantee if Floyd Mayweather, who is a lot richer than probably any of the guys you dated, right? If Floyd Mayweather, he sees a girl working in McDonald's who is gorgeous, and he feels like he wants to date her, he will date her. He won't care if she finished high school or finished university or whatever. He won't care.
And most black men are the ones that are working in McDonald's. That's the thing.
Oh my, wow.
So I guess where you live doesn't matter, because I've seen white folks work at McDonald's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A.
Believe it or not, in this economy, there are actually worse jobs than McDonald's.
Yeah, bruh.
Some McDonald's, and I drive off of the country, some McDonald's have signs where they're starting at $15 an hour, and I'm not talking managers. Chick-fil-A starting at $17 an hour in some parts of the country. The minimum wage is $7.50, so you're not balling out of control. It's still going to be a little tight turn to make that rent, but you ain't homeless. But we're stuck in this mentality that what you earn validates you as a person, and we as a people, we were not always on that, but we are now, and it is destroying us, man.
And it's very clear how
destroying us.
It's clear how this woman has very little respect for black men.
Oh yeah,
like
I wouldn't even continue this conversation if I was him.
Yeah, like that's where we are at this point. She just straight out don't respect black men. It's pretty simple. It's just straight up. But yeah, let's get through this, bro.
What, bro? I know this is a tactic of women to confuse what we're saying, but I'm not having it, bruv. I said something very clear to you, bruv. Yeah, if Floyd Mayweather comes across a woman who is very attractive, he is not going to care how far she went in education. He will date her, bruv. Most successful men, whether black or white, they don't care if a woman is educated or not. They care if she's beautiful and if she knows how to act right, if she's well behaved. That's what they care about, bro. That's what we care about. This is what I'm saying. It's just all this like, oh, I'm educated. Who are you trying to impress, bro? Maybe most of the guys you want to date that are black guys are in jail. That makes more sense. But most black guys are not in jail, bro. And most
That's pretty much the end of it right there.
Mm.
So, yeah.
I need a bump of coke after that one.
Yeah.
Most black men are at McDonald's. Most black. Oh my! Sis, you have such a closed-minded view of brothers. It's crazy. I don't know where she lives. I don't know what she's watching, but it's sad when you think that is how all of us are. He has never done time. I've never done time. McDonald's wouldn't even hire me. So your first two arguments are going right there.
Yeah, right.
Like, where do you live at? And I keep hearing this spewing of, I'm educated. Clearly, you're not educated about your own damn people, especially black men.
And that's the issue. I think nowadays, what you're slowly starting to see more and more is that you're starting to see more and more sisters really have a certain lack of respect for black men.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a problem. You know what I mean? It's bad enough nowadays women in general tend to look at men as disposable for the most part. You know what I mean? Like, that's not even a racial thing at that point.
That's across the board.
That's across the board. You know what I mean? You see a lot of these celebrity divorces and things like that. And at the end of the day, most of the time you see these things because the men are treated as if we are disposable. And women can try to argue that point and say that's not the case, that's not true, blah, blah. No, that's bullshit because everything, the way that certain systems and institutions are set up nowadays, that's how it is. And you have a lot of stuff going on in our society through our music, through our movies and things like that cultivate this lack of respect for black men. And that's what this is. Because she's doing this whole conversation. She never came with any kind of examples, any kind of proof or anything to back up her statements that made utter sense other than how she felt. She couldn't even give an example of her own experience. Mm-hmm. And the reason being is more often than not, if she did, she would have played herself. Mm-hmm. So, the last thing I'm going to say about this video is, fellas, just understand that when you see this type of woman, just don't even engage, man. Because the reality is that she's automatically telling you, unless you provide something for her, she has no respect for you. You know what I mean? None. And I'm pretty sure, and she's probably an average chick. She's probably an average chick. So, nah, man. Like, we need shit like this to truly, to make sure we are aware and avoid this kind of shit, man. So, anything you want to add, bro?
I'm just going to piggyback off what you said when it comes to music. I know y'all going to curl your mouths to say, well, Herb and Jay, y'all OGs. Y'all been around. So, y'all know y'all had y'all 2 Live crews and NWAs and all that. I said, but the difference is, these 2 black men knew that shit wasn't real. I know Ice Cube never shot nobody. I know all the chicks in 2 Live Crew videos aren't how all black women are. But your generation, many of this generation, thinks that the words of the Cardis and the Megans know that is law. Mm. That is just the way it is when it comes to men and women. And that is what's fucking us up. Because no one's sitting down to tell you, the adult, or you, the preteen, or you, the under preteen, that's not real. Because half of y'all, and I work with kids, don't even tell your kids, hey, you can listen to it, but understand that's fantasy. This is the real world. You can't treat people like that. That's not real. I had people that told me that. That's the difference between our generations. I know I couldn't walk up to a chick and do all the stuff I saw in those videos with Luke and all them dudes without getting put in a headlock. Because that's not how you talk to women.
Yeah.
So like he says, when you in your mind are having these conversations with a woman, and I use the term loosely because I don't really consider her to be a woman, the way she talks about us. And once it clicks in your head that she doesn't have respect for you as a man, stop talking. Because it's not going to go any further.
Check, please.
Right. I mean, even before it gets there.
Yeah.
Whether you're on social media, I'll shut a conversation out in person. Like I'll literally say I'm done talking.
Yep.
And now you got to silence now. So just be on the lookout because there's way too many people like this that have, a very negative idea of all of us as a whole as black men, and it's crazy where You claim to be pro-black this and pro-black that, and educated, but you have no idea how we are as men. That's scary.
Yeah. And don't care to know either.
No.
That's the other
No.
part. So, with that, I think we're done. Anything else you want to add, brother?
I'm good.
All right. So on that note, we are done here. This is a pretty quick video. So, on that note, we're going to end this, wrap it up, and we're going to record our next show. Do the YouTube thing, as we always say. Like, share, subscribe. Hit us up. Email, Facebook. However you want to hit us up. You got things you want us to discuss. You want to get on the show. As we always say, we always welcome the argument, the debate.
My Rick James thing. Celebration.
We are here for it. All kinds
healthy
of
debate, though. Healthy
absolutely,
debate. Like,
absolutely.
we're not going to pounce on you. But
Yeah.
talking crazy, we're going to have a discussion.
Leave the comments below. On that note,